They called themselves the Zarkax, and they arrived with the arrogance of gods. Their massive ships darkened the skies over every major city on Earth, a display of power meant to crush any thought of resistance. Their message was simple: submit or be annihilated. Colonel Jackson Foster stood on the runway of Andrews Air Force Base, his fists clenched as he watched another patrol of alien craft soar overhead. His pristine F-16s, the pride of the United States Air Force, sat grounded and seemingly useless against the invaders' superior technology. The aliens hadn't even bothered to destroy them, considering Earth's military hardware too primitive to be a threat. Sir, Lieutenant Olivia Chen approached, carrying a tablet displaying global surveillance feeds. They're establishing their command centers, just walking in and taking over like we're nothing. The Zarkax had indeed made themselves at home. Their towering structures now dominated city skylines, their troops openly patrolling streets in floating vehicles that made human military hardware look like children's toys. They'd deliberately chosen not to obliterate Earth's military bases, instead forcing human forces to watch helplessly as they established complete dominance. "Look at them," Foster muttered, watching an alien commander stride through the Pentagon as if touring a museum of antiquities. "They think our F-16s are museum pieces. They haven't even bothered to disable our equipment." That's when the first spark of an idea hit him. The aliens' greatest weakness might be their own overwhelming confidence. In an underground briefing room, Foster met with a select group of officers and engineers. Technical Chief Dr. James Rodriguez pointed to schematics of the F-16 Fighting Falcon projected on the wall. "They're monitoring all digital communications," Rodriguez explained, "but they're not watching our old analog channels. They consider them too primitive to be worth monitoring, and they're completely ignoring our grounded aircraft." Foster leaned forward, "because they think they're harmless." "Exactly," Rodriguez continued, his eyes lighting up. "And here's the thing, we've been studying their shield technology. It's advanced, but it's calibrated against their own energy weapons. They never bothered to shield against good old-fashioned kinetic impacts. They don't think they need to." The room grew quiet as the implications sank in. The aliens' contempt for Earth's technology might be their undoing. Over the next weeks, under the very noses of their alien overlords, a daring plan took shape. While the Zarkax occupied themselves with establishing their new order, human engineers worked in hidden mountain hangars, modifying F-16s with specialized ammunition and experimental systems that had been deemed too unstable before the invasion. Major Thomas Wung, their lead test pilot, helped perfect the modifications. "The aliens scan for energy signatures," he explained during a secret briefing. "But these birds, they'll read as powerless as paper airplanes until the moment we strike." Foster watched as his pilots trained in remote valleys using old-school visual signals and radio frequencies so ancient the aliens considered them background noise. The Zarkax continued their patrols, occasionally casting dismissive glances at the primitive, human fighters sitting apparently abandoned on their bases. "Sir," Chen reported one evening, "the last modification team is in position. We have 64 F-16s prepped and hidden across 12 locations. The aliens still think we're just maintaining them out of sentiment." Foster nodded, studying the latest intelligence. The Zarkax had grown even more complacent, reducing their patrol patterns and concentrating their forces around their main command centers. They'd fallen into exactly the pattern Earth's resistance had hoped for. In his quarters that night, Foster drafted the operation orders, using paper and pen, no digital trace for the aliens to detect. Tomorrow, the Zarkax would learn exactly how wrong they'd been about Earth's primitive aircraft. Tomorrow, humanity would reveal that sometimes the deadliest weapon was the one the enemy considered harmless. As he watched the alien ships twinkling in the night sky through his window, Foster allowed himself a grim smile. The invaders thought they'd subjected Earth to a day of submission. They had no idea they were about to experience something that would shock the entire galaxy, the day humanity's obsolete F-16s would change the course of interstellar warfare forever. Deep within the Cheyenne Mountain complex, Dr. James Rodriguez's hands trembled with excitement as he made the final adjustments to the F-16's new weapon system. Around him, a team of engineers worked in reverent silence, their activities masked from alien detection by thousands of feet of solid rock. "The beauty of this modification," he explained to Colonel Foster, pointing to the fighter's altered wing design, "is its simplicity. We're not trying to match their energy weapons. Instead, we're using their own arrogance against them." The F-16's sleek frame had been subtly altered. What appeared to be standard missile hardpoints now concealed revolutionary electromagnetic pulse generators. The jet's traditional 20 cannon had been replaced with a tungsten-core hypervelocity weapon system, primitive by alien standards, but devastatingly effective against their overconfident shield configurations. "Show me," Foster commanded. Rodriguez led him to a specialized testing chamber. Inside, they'd managed to salvage a piece of alien shield technology from a crashed scout ship. "Watch this," he said, activating a modified F-16 weapon system. The alien shield flickered to life, its purple energy field humming with apparent invulnerability. Rodriguez typed a command, and a single round from the modified cannon struck the shield. The alien barrier shattered like glass. "Their shields," Rodriguez explained, his eyes gleaming, "are calibrated to stop energy weapons and high-explosive impacts. But they never considered defending against simple kinetic penetrators moving at these speeds. It's like they forgot the basics of physics while developing their advanced tech." In another section of the facility, Major Thomas Wung was training pilots on the modified aircraft's new capabilities using secretly constructed simulators. The changes to the F-16's flight characteristics were subtle but crucial. "They're watching for energy signatures of advanced propulsion," Wung briefed his squadron. "But we're not using any. These birds look exactly like our standard F-16s on their scanners. The modifications are all mechanical and ballistic ancient technology by their standards. They won't see us coming until it's too late." The pilot training was intense and had to be conducted in total secrecy. Every squadron member knew that a single mistake, a single detected practice run, would doom the entire operation. They trained in underground hangars, using mechanical systems and old-style radio frequencies the aliens considered too primitive to monitor. Lieutenant Chen coordinated the global logistics of Operation Hidden Thunder, using a network of resistance fighters to distribute the modified components to secret facilities worldwide. The aliens' own contempt worked in their favor. They barely glanced at trucks carrying what they assumed were spare parts for Earth's obsolete aircraft. "The modifications are ready at all 12 locations," Chen reported during a secure briefing. 64 F-16s, each one upgraded with the new systems. The aliens are still maintaining their regular patrol patterns, completely unaware. Foster studied the global deployment map. Modified F-16s were now hidden in hardened mountain bunkers across 6 continents, each location chosen specifically to target key alien command centers. The element of surprise would be total. The Zarkax had no concept that humans would dare to attack them, let alone succeed. In the final days before the operation, Dr. Rodriguez made one last crucial discovery. "Look at this," he showed Foster, pointing to sensor readings from alien patrol ships. "Their shield harmonics follow a predictable pattern. If we time our strikes precisely, we can hit them when their shields are at their weakest resonance." The timing would have to be perfect. Every F-16 would need to strike simultaneously, exploiting the shield weakness in a coordinated global attack. The pilots spent countless hours practicing the timing, using nothing but mechanical chronometers to avoid detection. "Sir," Wung reported after the final training run, "the squadrons are ready. Every pilot has scored direct hits in the simulators. We've memorized their patrol patterns, identified their weak points, and mastered the timing." Foster stood in the underground hangar, running his hand along the smooth metal of the modified F-16. To the aliens, these aircraft were relics, not even worth destroying. Soon they would learn just how wrong they were. Chen approached with the latest intelligence update. "The Zarkax are planning a ceremony in 3 days. They're going to formally declare Earth their protectorate. All their command ships will be in position over major cities." "Perfect," Foster nodded. "They're gathering exactly where we want them. Send the signal to all bases. Operation Hidden Thunder commences in 72 hours. That night, as the final preparations were made, Foster thought about the shock that was coming. The Zarkax had come to Earth expecting to find a primitive species they could easily dominate. Instead, they were about to learn a lesson about human ingenuity and determination. A lesson delivered by the very fighters they had dismissed as museum pieces. In hangars and bunkers around the world, pilots began their final checks. The modified F-16s waited silently in their hidden bases, their weapons primed, their new systems ready. In 3 days, the galaxy would learn exactly what humanity's obsolete fighters could do, and the Zarkax would experience the most shocking counterattack in their empire's history. Dawn broke over a world holding its breath. In mountain bunkers and hidden hangars across the globe, 64 modified F-16s waited like coiled springs. The Zarkak's celebration of their conquest was about to begin, and with it, humanity's moment of revelation. Colonel Foster stood in the Cheyenne Mountain Command Center, watching alien ships gather above major cities worldwide. The Zarkaks were putting on a show of force, their massive command vessels descending to low altitude for maximum visibility during their victory ceremony. All squadrons check in, Foster ordered over the ancient radio frequency. One by one, 12 squadron leaders reported ready, their voices tight with anticipation. Remember, he broadcast to all pilots, we get one shot at this. The moment our first F-16 reveals its true capabilities, we lose the element of surprise. Make it count. Above New York, the largest alien command ship began broadcasting its victory speech. The Zarkak's Supreme Commander's hologram appeared over every major city, his smugly confident voice echoing across the planet. People of Earth, the alien leader began, today marks your formal incorporation into the Zarkak's empire. Your primitive technology and limited military capabilities have made this transition remarkably peaceful. That's when Foster gave the signal. Operation Hidden Thunder is go, all units execute. Across the globe, mountain hangar doors slid open. F-16s roared to life, but not with their usual sound. The modified engines produced a deeper, almost subsonic rumble that the alien sensors still registered as harmless. Ground crews watched with fierce pride as the fighters took to the skis. Major Wang led the Pacific Squadron, his formation of F-16s climbing rapidly toward the alien command ship over Tokyo. Like in training, he reminded his pilots, they'll ignore us until it's too late, maintain course and speed. The aliens' reaction was exactly as predicted: nothing. Their sensors registered the approaching F-16s as merely primitive aircraft conducting routine patrols. A few alien fighters even moved aside, their pilots not even bothering to take defensive positions. The Zarkak's Supreme Commander continued his speech, completely unaware of what was about to happen. Your aircraft, which some of you still maintain out of misplaced pride, will serve as excellent museum pieces, showing future generations how far you've come under our guidance. All squadrons in position, Chen reported from the command center. Shield harmonics analysis confirms their defenses are at minimum power state. Foster took a deep breath. Execute primary attack sequence, all units weapons free. What happened next would be remembered for centuries across the galaxy. 64 F-16s, positioned near every major alien command ship on Earth, revealed their true nature in a single, synchronized moment of shock and awe. The modified fighters switched on their electromagnetic pulse generators. What the aliens had dismissed as decorative fuel tanks suddenly erupted with waves of energy perfectly calibrated to their shield's resonance frequency. Before the Zarkaks could even register surprise, their supposedly impenetrable defenses flickered and failed. First wave fire, Wang commanded. The F-16's new hypervelocity cannons roared to life. Streams of tungsten core projectiles accelerated to speeds the aliens had never thought possible from primitive human weapons, tore through the now defenseless command ships. The Zarkak's Supreme Commander's hologram flickered and died mid-sentence as his ship's bridge took a direct hit. Across the globe, alien vessels that had dominated Earth's skies for months began falling, their crews too shocked to even return fire. They're launching fighters, Chen called out, but the alien pilots were completely unprepared. Their combat doctrine, based entirely on energy weapon exchanges, proved useless against the modified F-16's conventional weapons. Wang's voice crackled over the radio as his squadron engaged alien fighters over the Pacific. Their shields are calibrated for energy weapons only. Our kinetic rounds are passing right through. The space around Earth cities turned into a graveyard of alien technology. F-16s, aircraft the Zarkaks had mocked as obsolete, danced through their formations with devastating effect. Humanity's fighters proved more maneuverable in atmosphere, their pilots more experienced in aerial combat, their weapons unexpectedly lethal. Foster watched the tactical display as alien ships fell from the sky worldwide. The Zarkaks' arrogance had been their undoing. They had never considered that humans would be able to analyze and exploit their shield technology, never imagined that primitive, ballistic weapons could be modified to defeat their defenses. Sir, Chen reported, her voice filled with amazement. They're retreating. The remaining command ships are trying to reach orbit. But humanity's surprise wasn't over. The F-16's final modification revealed itself as the aliens tried to escape. Electromagnetic tethers, technology reversed engineered from the aliens' own tractor beams, reached out and dragged the fleeing ships back into range of the fighters' weapons. Within hours, Earth's skis belonged to humanity again. The Zarkax's supposedly invincible armada had been decimated by the very aircraft they had dismissed as relics. Their surviving ships fled into deep space, carrying with them a message that would spread rapidly across the galaxy: underestimate humans at your peril. In the Cheyenne Mountain Command Center, Foster received the final confirmation. All primary targets neutralized. Alien command structure is completely destroyed. Secondary targets are in full retreat. The colonel allowed himself a small smile as he watched the modified F-16s return to their bases, their mission accomplished. The Zarkax had come to Earth expecting to find a primitive species with obsolete technology. Instead, they had learned a harsh lesson about human ingenuity and the danger of judging Earth's weapons by their appearance alone. The day Earth's F-16s shocked the galaxy would be remembered as the moment humanity announced its presence as a force to be reckoned with among the stars. And in hangars across the planet, these remarkable fighters stood ready, their true capabilities now known, a warning to any other aliens who might mistake Earth's technology for primitive relics. The once mighty Zarkax fleet was in chaos. Escape pods littered Earth's atmosphere as alien crews abandoned their crippled vessels. The few surviving command ships broke orbit in disarray, their retreat more closely resembling a panic-stricken rout than an organized withdrawal. In the aftermath of Operation Hidden Thunder, Colonel Foster watched satellite feeds of the aliens' desperate evacuation. Modified F-16s continued to patrol the skis, now openly displaying their enhanced capabilities as they herded fleeing alien craft away from population centers. "Intercepted transmission from their command frequency, sir," Lieutenant Chen reported, her station monitoring the aliens' frantic communications. They're warning all approaching Zarkax vessels to avoid Earth at all costs. They're calling us technologically deceptive and militarily unpredictable." The aliens' shock at their defeat was palpable in their transmissions. Their entire military doctrine, based on centuries of technological superiority, had been shattered in a single day by weapons they had dismissed as primitive. The surviving Zarkax commanders couldn't comprehend how their advanced shields had failed against what they had considered museum pieces. Major Wung landed his F-16 after completing another patrol, his fighter still pristine despite hours of combat. "Sir," he reported to Foster, "we've got alien crews surrendering to our patrols. They're practically begging to be taken prisoner, something about avoiding the humans' unstoppable fighter craft." The psychological impact of the F-16's revelation had been even more devastating than their physical attacks. The Zarkax had built their empire on the assumption of absolute technological superiority. The idea that a primitive species could not only defeat their shields, but do so with modified conventional weapons had shaken their civilization to its core. Dr. Rodriguez examined captured alien data tablets, his eyes widening at their contents. "Colonel, they're fascinating. Look at these technical readings they took during our attack. Their sensors couldn't even properly classify our weapons. They kept trying to categorize them as energy-based because they couldn't accept that kinetic weapons had pierced their defenses." In orbit, the last remaining alien ships had gathered into a ragged convoy. Earth's ground-based telescopes captured images of their retreat, showing heavily damaged vessels limping away from the planet they had thought would be an easy conquest. "Sir," Chen called out, "we're picking up long-range communications. The they're warning other alien species about Earth. They're saying we have weaponry that defies conventional classification and that our technology is deceptively advanced." The news of Earth's victory spread rapidly across alien communication channels. The Zarkax, once considered one of the galaxy's premier military powers, had been defeated by what they had dismissed as an inferior species. Even more shocking to the alien observers was the weapon of their defeat, the F-16, a fighter that by their standards should have been helpless against their technology. Captured Zarkax officers being debriefed in secure facilities revealed the extent of their shock. "We thought we understood your capabilities," one commander admitted through a translator. "Our analysis showed your F-16s were simple atmospheric craft with basic projectile weapons. How did you hide their true power from our scans?" Foster allowed himself a grim smile. We didn't hide anything. You saw exactly what was there, you just made assumptions about what it meant. The revelation of humanity's tactical creativity sent shockwaves through alien military circles. Reports began arriving of other species hastily reassessing their analysis of Earth's capabilities. The concept that humans could take primitive technology and modify it in unexpected ways made Earth an unknown quantity in galactic politics. In the days following the retreat, Earth's modified F-16s became something of a legend among alien military analysts. Stories spread of how these simple atmospheric fighters had brought down an empire's fleet. The Zarkax's desperate retreat had been captured by their own ship's cameras, and the footage of F-16s systematically dismantling their most advanced vessels became required viewing in alien military academies. They're calling it the Earth paradigm, Chen reported, translating more intercepted communications. The idea that technological superiority doesn't always translate to tactical superiority. Our F-16s are being cited as the prime example. Foster stood on Andrews Air Force Base's runway, watching a squadron of the modified fighters return from patrol. Their victory had done more than just drive off the Zarkax. It had fundamentally changed how alien civilizations would approach Earth from now on. Latest intelligence from Deep Space Monitoring, Chen reported. 3 other alien species have canceled planned reconnaissance missions to Earth. They're citing concerns about unclear technological capabilities and unprecedented military innovation. The F-16s had not just won a battle, they had reshaped humanity's position in the galaxy. No longer would Earth be seen as an easy target for technologically advanced species. The sight of these fighters now carried a clear message to any watching aliens. Appearances can be deceiving, and humanity's primitive weapons might just be hiding capabilities that could shock the stars themselves. Inside the mountain hangars, engineers were already working on new modifications, incorporating captured alien technology into Earth's existing aircraft. The F-16s that had shocked the galaxy were evolving further, becoming hybrid craft that combined human ingenuity with alien tech. The galaxy would be watching Earth's skis with new respect and just a touch of fear, wondering what other surprises these remarkable fighters might reveal. 6 months after Operation Hidden Thunder, Earth had changed beyond recognition. The wreckage of Zarkax ships had been cleared from cities worldwide, but their impact on human civilization remained. In their haste to retreat, the aliens had left behind vast stores of advanced technology, a treasure trove that humanity was quick to study and adapt. Colonel Foster, now General Foster, stood in the newly established Planetary Defense Command Center, watching screens that tracked both Earth and deep space activity. Modified F-16s, now upgraded with reverse-engineered alien tech, patrolled Earth's skis alongside new hybrid craft born from the marriage of human and alien technology. Sir, Lieutenant Chen, recently promoted to captain, approached with a holographic display. The latest report from our Deep Space Monitoring Network. 3 more alien civilizations have requested diplomatic relations with Earth. They're specifically asking about our aerospace technology integration programs. The F-16's shocking victory had transformed Earth's position in galactic politics. What had begun as a desperate counterattack had evolved into something far more significant, proof that humanity could not only compete with advanced alien civilizations, but could innovate in ways they never expected. Dr. Rodriguez burst into the command center, his eyes bright with excitement. "General, you need to see this. We've successfully integrated the Zarkax Shield Harmonics technology with our original F-16 modifications. The test results are beyond anything we imagined." On the testing range, a demonstration flight showcased the latest evolution of the aircraft that had saved Earth. The F-16s now sported a seamless blend of human and alien technology. Their original kinetic weapons had been enhanced with captured energy tech, while maintaining the unpredictable versatility that had shocked the Zarkax. Major Wang, leading the test flights, reported over the comm system. "The new hybrid systems are performing better than projected. We're seeing a 300% increase in combat effectiveness, and that's just the beginning." The success of Earth's primitive fighters had sparked a revolution in military technology across the galaxy. Alien civilizations, long focused on energy weapons and shield systems, were now frantically studying kinetic weapon designs. The term Earth-style innovation had entered the galactic lexicon, describing the practice of combining simple, robust technology with advanced systems in unexpected ways. Another diplomatic transmission, Chen reported. The Centaurian Alliance is requesting permission to send military observers to study our fighter program. They're offering advanced FTL technology in exchange. Foster smiled. The aliens who had once dismissed Earth's fighters as relics were now literally lining up to learn from them. Earth's victory had proven that true military advancement wasn't just about having the most advanced technology, it was about using what you had in innovative and unexpected ways. In hangars around the world, the next generation of Earth's defenders took shape. The F-16's success had inspired a new philosophy in weapons development, the combination of reliable human engineering with carefully integrated alien technology. Every new design incorporated the lessons learned from Operation Hidden Thunder: never assume, never underestimate, and always be ready to shock the enemy. General, Rodriguez called out, the Galactic Council has finally responded to our membership application. They've approved it, with special mention of our contributions to military science and tactical innovation. The screens showed the latest satellite images, Earth's first deep space defense platform under construction in orbit, built around the principles that had made the F-16 counterattack so successful. Human ingenuity combined with alien tech, creating systems that were both powerful and unpredictable. Sir, Wang reported after landing his latest test flight, the alien observers can't believe how we've integrated their technology with our original designs. One of them actually said, we're teaching the galaxy to think differently about warfare. The F-16s continued their patrols, but they were no longer just Earth's defenders. They had become symbols of humanity's unique place in the galaxy, a species that could take the simple and make it extraordinary, that could combine the primitive with the advanced in ways that shocked even the most sophisticated civilizations. In the final analysis, the Zarkax had given Earth an invaluable gift with their invasion. Their contempt had allowed humanity to develop in secret, their arrogance had given Earth the element of surprise, and their defeat had opened the door to the stars. The sight of an F-16 streaking across the sky now carried a message to the galaxy: underestimate Earth at your peril. As Foster watched the sunset from the command center's window, a squadron of the hybrid F-16s passed overhead, their silhouettes barely changed but their capabilities now legendary across the stars. They were more than just fighters now. They were a reminder that sometimes the most shocking victories come not from overwhelming power, but from the clever use of what others dismiss as obsolete. Latest intelligence update, sir, Chen said, handing him a final report. The Zarkax Empire has completely reformed its military doctrine. They're now requiring all their commanders to study what they're calling the Earth Incident, especially the part about never underestimating seemingly primitive technology. Foster nodded, watching Earth's defenders patrol the darkening sky. The galaxy had learned its lesson. There was no such thing as primitive technology in human hands, only opportunities for innovation that could shock the stars themselves. The F-16s that had saved Earth would be remembered not just as fighters, but as the weapons that taught the galaxy to fear human ingenuity.